Okay, let's unpack this. We've been diving into a lot of history, but today we're looking at something that feels less like history and, I don't know, more like an instruction manual.
Right.
Something beamed in from a vastly superior intelligence. This isn't just ancient philosophy. It's packed with code words, divine hierarchies, and a detailed ritual script for, well, for spiritual perfection.
It's the closest thing the Gnostics ever produced to a sacred technological manual. We are diving into the Three Steles of Seth,
Ah, yes.
a masterpiece discovered in the Nag Hammadi Library. This 3rd century Sethian Gnostic text is, it's arguably one of the most powerful and poetic works in the entire collection.
So it's a roadmap.
It is a total roadmap to salvation,
Right.
presented as 3 sacred hymns or steles.
A blueprint for the soul. So our mission today is to distill the essence of this complex, beautiful, and, let's be honest, profoundly strange document. We need to figure out its core cosmological structure, identify the major players, and most importantly, figure out its function. What were the ancient Gnostics doing with these 3 liturgical scripts?
Were they just praying?
Or were they performing some kind of cosmic engineering?
They believed they were achieving cosmic engineering. The text is framed as a revelation, something remembered and understood and then transmitted by this figure, Dositheos, to the elect.
And the hymns themselves, they provide a very clear hierarchy of devotion.
A very clear one.
And the players are layered. We start with the human-divine interface.
Yeah.
The archetypal Seth, known here as Amaka Seth,
Right.
and his divine father Adam, called Geradamus or Pagaradamus. But the ultimate praise is directed higher, toward Barbelo.
Always to Barbelo. She is the supreme feminine divine principle, the first emanation of the invisible Father.
So it's a journey up the cosmic ladder.
Exactly. The text uses these figures not just as, historical markers, but as archetypal lenses through which the listener, the person reciting the text, can ascend.
Okay, so let's start the ascent with the first stage, the first stele. This hymn feels intensely personal. It shifts instantly from the infinite cosmos down to this deeply filial, almost familial relationship.
It does.
It really reads like a cosmic love letter.
It is Amaka Seth's personal song of praise. He is the son blessing the father, Geradamus. And the language is loaded with paradox right from the start. It suggests this eternal relationship that just transcends physical birth.
How so?
Listen to how he blesses his father. I, as thine own son, Amaka Seth, whom thou didst beget without begetting.
Beget without begetting. Wow. That single line is Gnostic cosmology in miniature, isn't it?
It really is.
Seth exists because the Father willed it, but the Father is defined by a source even higher than himself, the unknowable God. This is the primordial human archetype, giving thanks to the ultimate source code programmer.
And Seth is glorifying the attributes of that source. He calls the Father Mirotheus, the good self-begotten who stood, and specifically unbegotten in relation to anything lower than the ultimate God. He is the revealer of the eternal ones.
But wait, so the first human in Gnostic lore is already writing hymns about how he's been saved. Doesn't the Gnostic narrative suggest salvation is achieved through gnosis later on?
That's a crucial distinction. It suggests that the Sethian line is uniquely chosen, preordained even.
Oh, okay.
The Father is merciful and caused all things to increase for the sake of Seth's seed. He isn't seeking salvation here, he is acknowledging the salvation that's already been granted.
And this father, Geradamus, is given a supremely unifying title here, the thrice male.
Thrice male, yeah.
That epithet is incredibly specific. It represents this perfect, complete, unifying masculine energy, the power that brings everything together. He's blessed because he did unite all through them all.
It's all about coherence and power derived from this divine source, which then empowers us, the people reciting the hymn.
And the first stele, it really sets the standard for the entire endeavor, perfection.
Absolutely. It concludes with that emphatic triple declaration, thou art perfect, thou art perfect, thou art perfect. The purpose of this Father's existence is saving all who are worthy.
So if stele 1 is the intensely personal affirmation of perfection, stele 2 immediately transitions our gaze upward and outward.
It does. We move past the first emanation to the great architectural principle of existence.
Time to meet Barbelo. If you need a concept that summarizes the entire Gnostic understanding of the divine feminine, this is it.
She is the ultimate creative mechanism. The text describes her with titles that truly convey her centrality. Great is the first eon male virginal Barbelo, the first glory of the invisible Father, she who is called perfect.
But that description contains a massive metaphysical conundrum, doesn't it?
A huge one.
She's the ultimate source, the divine matrix, yet she is called the first glory of the invisible Father. If she is supreme, why is she defined by her relationship to something even higher? Why call her the first shadow of the Holy Father?
That is the core paradox of Barbelo, and it's why the Gnostics considered her so important. She is the essential bridge. The invisible Father is completely unknowable outside of existence.
Right.
Barbelo is the first boundary, the initial thought of the Father. She is a great monad from a pure monad, meaning she is unified, but she is also the first point where that unity begins to divide and manifest.
So she's simultaneously the single source and the origin of all multiplicity.
Exactly. She is light from light, yet she becomes numerable in division.
She is the divine blueprint that allows non-being to become existence. She is the producer of perfection, eon giver.
100%. She is the agency through which everything lower is empowered. She grants power to the eternal ones in being, divinity in living, and knowledge in goodness.
So everything that happens in the cosmos happens through her.
That's it.
And this realization, it triggers the communal petition, which is the Gnostic version of a working group prayer.
Right, because they have recognized her role as the divine matrix, they know they can approach her collectively for salvation.
And their requests are incredibly pragmatic. They're focused on ascent.
They are. Unite us as thou hast been united. Teach us those things which thou dost see. Empower us that we may be saved to eternal life. They are asking for transformation and knowledge based on our own perfected unity.
And the explanation of the Gnostic hierarchy here defines their place in the universe. It ties directly back to your point about Barbelo being the first shadow, they say. For we are each a shadow of thee, as thou art a shadow of that first pre-existent one.
And this is critical. The Gnostics understood reality as a cascade of ever-diminishing light. The Father casts Barbelo as the first shadow, and Barbelo casts the lower spiritual realms,
Including the elect who are praying.
as her shadows.
Yeah.
It establishes the chain of command, but more importantly, it establishes the precise path back up to the emanations.
The knowledge of their position in this cosmic hierarchy is what allows them to pray effectively.
Exactly. And the stele closes with immediate communal gratitude, confirming the success of the prayer.
Thou hast heard. Thou hast saved. We give thanks. We bless thee always.
Yeah. They haven't just hoped for salvation. They've achieved a direct, verifiable connection to the source, which prepares them for the final stage.
Now we ascend to stele 3. This is the climax, the final ecstatic doxology directed at the unknowable Supreme One.
The ultimate invisible Father.
After connecting to Barbelo, the divine matrix, they are ready for the source that precedes even her.
And the tone here is one of total, overwhelming discovery. They are no longer asking, they are celebrating the breakthrough. The text practically screams, we rejoice, we rejoice, we have seen.
We've seen the really pre-existent one. They have finally grasped the highest conceptual being, the first being which is before beings.
And when you confront something beyond comprehension, how do you describe it?
You can't really.
You try. They call him the unconceived, Father of divinity and life, creator of mind, giver of good, but then they resort to a torrent of unique, power-laden names. It's a sort of linguistic attempt to tune into the exact frequency of the divine.
So they're using incantation, not description.
Precisely. The text unleashes names like Sinon, Asinius, Opton, Elameron, the Great Power, and Antitheus. These aren't just random labels. In the Gnostic tradition, they are specific vibrations.
So by listing them, they are attempting to lock the speaker's consciousness onto the highest possible plane of existence. It's a method of ritual intensification.
It's like a spiritual password attempt, trying every combination until the door opens.
I like that. But after all that naming and glorification, the core lesson is delivered, and it is pure distilled gnosis.
Yes. They reveal the ultimate actionable answer. Knowledge of thee, it is the salvation of us all. Present a command. When thou dost command, we have been saved.
So the whole process, the 3 hymns, the ascent, it's ultimately about attaining that saving knowledge that gnosis achieved through the mind.
Salvation isn't earned by good deeds or sacrifice. It is the natural consequence of true intellectual and spiritual understanding.
But is this purely intellectual, or is there an active element required? Even in their praise, they acknowledge the limitation. They state they are humble toward thee, but glorify him because they were commanded to, and we are empowered to do so.
That's a great point. The command and the empowerment suggest that the capability to achieve gnosis is itself a divine gift, but the application requires ritual action.
And that's where the mind-bending twist comes in.
Yes. These steles are not just theological poetry, they are the script for a very specific mystical technology.
A spiritual cheat code. The text explicitly states the requirements for perfection and reveals the ultimate prize.
The text outlines who benefits. He who will remember these and give glory always will become perfect among those who are perfect and impassable beyond all things.
Impassable. Let's pause on that word. That's a term of ultimate freedom, isn't it?
Yes.
It means freedom from pathos, freedom from suffering, from the passions, from fate, from the limitations of the material world. It's the highest Gnostic aspiration.
To transcend the influence of the lower cosmos entirely.
It's the absolute escape hatch.
And the text provides the step-by-step mechanism to execute that escape. It details a spiritual ascent and a descent.
So they bless individually and together, then they fall silent. That silence is the moment of union with the unknowable one.
That moment of silence after the third stele is the climax, the achievement of gnosis.
What happens next?
The movement reverses. Just as they were ordained, they ascend. After the silence, they descend from the third. They bless the second. After these, the first.
This is the cosmic elevator that goes both ways.
It is.
They bless the ultimate source, stele 3, achieve silence and gnosis, and then systematically descend back through Barbelo, stele 2, and the Father stele 1. Why descend?
Right.
If they've achieved perfection and impassibility, why come back down?
That brings us to the ultimate paradox, and arguably the most profound line in the entire text, which concludes the ritual instruction. The way of ascent is the way of descent.
Whoa. That's a powerful idea. It suggests that Gnostic enlightenment isn't a final one-way ticket out of reality.
Not at all.
It implies the path is circular, continuous, and requires movement in both directions. You can't just absorb the light. You have to bring that perfected knowledge, that gnosis, back down through the layers.
It creates a Gnostic mandate for action. The highest knowledge must be reconciled with lower existence. The movement from multiplicity back to unity is necessary, but the movement from unity back into multiplicity ensures that the gnosis is active, complete, and shared with the rest of the elect.
It makes their salvation continuous, not static.
Exactly. It's a mechanism for continuous perfection, demanding both contemplation and application. It's a remarkable piece of ritual programming.
And the text closes with a powerful, direct address to the person who has just performed this ritual, to you, the listener, who is now the elect.
Know, therefore, as those who live, that you have attained, and you taught yourselves the infinite things. Marvel at the truth which is within them, and at the revelation.
So we've cracked the code of this 3rd century Gnostic masterpiece. We've defined its specific targets: Seth, Geradamus, Barbelo, the unconceived one, and we've outlined its explicit function: ritual perfection and impassibility.
Achieved through active remembrance and a structured cosmological journey. It's absolutely stunning to realize that ancient people created a specific, repeatable liturgy, a script designed to achieve freedom from suffering, from fate.
And to literally become impassible.
The precision of the structure, demanding both the ascending knowledge and the descending application, is theological engineering at its finest.
Really raises a powerful question for you to mull over. If these Gnostics believe that eternal salvation and ultimate perfection could be achieved simply by understanding and reciting a specific pattern of truth, a focused, repeatable liturgy that dictates the very movement of the soul,
Yeah.
what does that suggest about the true, latent potential of spoken word, focused intent, and structured ritual, regardless of the divine names you invoke? That script suggests that consciousness itself is the mechanism for ultimate freedom.